on Unit 7, which by my calculations means that we're about 2/3 of the way home. And so I decided that I might do a little fishing this afternoon. At any rate, what I want to do before that is talk a bit about parent participation and self-advocacy for young adults. Parent participation is something that's been tied to the law since its beginning in 1977 when the first regulations were passed. Self-advocacy is something that has changed over time, but is now considered very critical in our work with students with disabilities. One purpose of the parent participation principle is to create a partnership between parents and educators related to the student's education. Both have an interest in educating the student, so each should be a partner while the other is doing so. The principle has other purposes too. It protects parents' and students' rights, requires parents to be accountable to their children and LEAs for their behavior. And in Chapter 8, we have a discussion about that fairness and the concept of mutual accountability. It advances democratic values, the right of the governed to participate in and shape the action of government, and recognizes that the family is the core unit of society. Parents have an obligation to raise their children, and they have blood and psychological bonds that the principle advances as well. There have been 7 roles for parents in educating their children with disabilities, and each role was shaped by what professionals did. There is now an 8th role, and it too is shaped by and shapes what professionals do. That role is trust-driven collaborators. The new role makes trust the keystone of the parent-professional relationship. These elements are communication, professional competence, respect, commitment, equality, and advocacy. IDEA advances parent participation by providing for various notices, participation in evaluation, and I-plan meetings, private school placement, and limited public liability to pay for private school placement, various types of agreements between parents and LEAs concerning evaluation, attendance at I-team meetings, changes to I-plans, parent participation, and enforcement of mediation and dispute resolution agreements, protection of student and parent privacy, access to due process hearings in courts, benefits from certain related services, participation in policy making, access to system records, special Part C rights, and student participation when appropriate and upon the students attaining the age of majority. For those of you working with older students, a critical distinction is now being made between parent participation and self-advocacy, as one of the additional videos in your unit will illustrate. Think about how you can support this change, both in attitude and in direction.